This thing on? Yeah, I think this thing's on. Welcome, everybody, to another Georgia Archery podcast. I'm your host, Big John Chandler, and this is where we talk about anything and everything to do with archery in the state of Georgia and Georgia archers, wherever they may shoot. And if watching this live or if you're listening, I have a guest tonight, and we're going to talk bows. I hope that everybody is very much entertained. A good friend of mine. We've been known each other for I don't know how long. Byron Thompson, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
I am wonderful. It is blessed to be here. Blessed to wake up another day, and even this cold, rainy, whatever. I'm glad the hot is gone, and you know how that goes.
Speaking of
so
knowing each other a long time, we were just talking about that. A mutual friend of ours called when we was waiting to get on, and I was counting back the years. I was like, man,
uh,
I've known these archery guys a long time now.
for sure, for sure. So how was your weekend? Let's just start right there and then. So,
Well, my weekend was pretty busy. We just launched, and I sprained my ankle pretty good. You see me hobbling around the
yep.
other day.
Hmm.
So I hadn't been able to climb in a stand. So all I've done is worked. I've been on the road a little bit, which didn't help my ankle a lot, but uh, you know, riding is better than nothing. So,
I
but
hear you.
we're getting a pretty good demand, and I'm getting busy. So I'm not in the woods as much as I want to be, and so this weekend kind of didn't happen. It was just like another day of the week. I worked all weekend pretty much.
So if let's just bring it up so that people can understand. This is Byron Thompson. He is the rep for Darton Bows,
Yep.
Black Eagle Arrows, and Conquest stabilizers,
Conquest
accessories,
rifling, stabilizers, quivers, accessories.
quivers, accessories,
Yep.
and then you have a couple other things that you rep on the side.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And
Sir.
you've been in the archery industry for several years now in a couple of different rep positions.
Yeah, going on 20 years now in the sales rep side, and then
Holy crap!
before that, managed a couple archery shops, and then before that, I was a shop rat. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I uh, I kind of worked all the way through, and so I've been around archery since, gosh, I was a teenager, and
Yeah.
I've been involved in the industry for probably 25 years.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, I've known you for a lot of that. I remember, let's see, before you got in, as you said, almost 20 years. So that was before you. I mean, I remember you at the archery shop.
Yeah, oh yeah. So I was running an archery shop in South Georgia in '06 and '07 when I decided to move back up here to where I live now. Shut
Yep.
now.
So let's see. I got a couple of comments. Eric says, "What's up?" And
Hey, man.
or is it
Miss
Santa?
Alicia,
Santa in the making. Alicia says it's Santa in the making. So
I have completely accepted my old madness
I
at this
hear you.
point.
You can't grow it on top; just grow it out the bottom. I
That's
got you.
right. Yeah, that's right.
Well, um, let's see. Let's go with my normal routine before we get into talking about bows and talking about things. This past weekend, it's been a few weeks since I've had a podcast. One week, Xfinity decided they didn't want me to podcast because they had an outage in my area, so that didn't happen. And then I had some sickness and wasn't feeling good and some other things. So we haven't had a podcast in a couple of weeks now, but this past weekend, the Appling Archers had their pumpkin shoot. They host that every year, raise a little money for a good organization, and they had a great time. There were some scores posted today. Ace Archery had their Halloween shoot on Saturday, and it was a good time. And also Georgia Southern had their zombie indoor archery shoot this past weekend. So everybody was having a little Halloweeny thing going on this past weekend. So that's what happened this past weekend. You know, and we'll go through and maybe talk about what's coming up on the next stuff after we get finished chatting. So Darton launched what day? About a month
October
ago.
the 17th was the official launch.
17th. So
Yeah.
a couple of weeks now,
Yep.
and there's been a few bows. So Let's
Yeah, I
just talk
mean,
about.
the consumer demand has been high. A lot of good, positive feedback. So far, so good, man. It's been a, it's been a busy 2 weeks for sure.
Okay. Well, let's start at the consequence. Right, it's been in line for a while.
Yeah. So we started last year with a consequence. It had a 29-inch axle to axle,
Yep.
and it had a 7.5-inch brace height. It was very forgiving, really good, compact, mid-price bow. And, couple of the things that we got feedback on was one, people would like it to have a little longer axle to axle,
Yeah.
and some would like a smaller version of it. So we kind of conquered both of those things. We'll start with the Consequence SD
Short draw.
short draw. So this
Hey,
bow,
good.
first of all, will come in two options as far as poundage, and it'll both will have 20-pound increments. So you can
20
get it in a
pounds.
30 to 50-pound bow or a 40 to 60-pound bow. And then your draw lengths are going to be 22 to 28 inches. And so, because we didn't go past the 60-pound mark, we were able to shave some of the riser and take a lot
Yep.
of the off. So it's physically lighter for those.
Physically lighter.
Yeah. So this is less than 4 pounds, just shy of 4 pounds. So your smaller frame
Okay.
archer should have a pretty compact little bow that's got some flagship qualities to it.
I
Same
got you.
gun
I
pockets.
mean, the conquest.
Yeah.
Yep. Retails for about 750.
Yep, by 750.
I got you.
It'll come in all our solid colors, and I think you can get it in mossy oak breakup as well.
Mossy Oak Bottomlands.
Bottomlands. That's right.
Uh,
Oops. I just sinned
Bottomlands.
against it. Man, if you're a Mississippi turkey hunter, you coming through the stream with me, ain't you? Sorry about that.
Bottomlands. I got
Bottomlands.
you.
Ah, that
Yes,
was
sir.
really bad of me.
And
Ah,
so,
I apologize.
like you said, they y'all did some tweaking, and you have another bow in
Yeah, I
your
mean
axle bow.
the number one feedback we got on the consequences. We love the bow. We just wish maybe it was a little bit longer axle to axle. Like when you start pushing your draw length being equal to the actual axle length, it gets a little tricky to shoot. So we came out with the consequence 31.
Okay.
Get around the same
Consequence
performance, maybe a
31.
little zippier than the consequence 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's a 799 bow.
Yep, 799 bow.
And the same thing, solid colors and
Yep,
that
solid colors, Machio, Bottomlands.
bottom. I got
uh,
you.
yeah, so good little bow. We think,
Okay.
the 29 stayed in the lineup. It just sold too good. A lot of people enjoyed that bow, so we weren't going to take it off the market. We were going to let people have a chance to have that bow. But if you want a little bit longer one, we got that for you too. So we're trying to listen to the feedback we're getting. I mean,
I got you. Well, that's a nice little price point bow. Um, Works in that not break the bank. Does what it needs to do. Bow.
and
For
I got to tell
sure.
you, John. I mean, I'm not telling people not to buy a flagship, but truly, that little bow, if like you handed me that and said that's your whitetail bow this year, I would not feel handicapped at all.
Yeah.
And I do hunt out of a saddle a bit, so that's got a lot of flagship qualities to it for that money.
For that money, I got you. Well, now we're going to get into the new Tri Tech
Yeah,
in three flavors.
yeah. I'm just going to show you the middle one,
Yep.
unless if anybody's got any interest in seeing the First Light Spectre camouflage.
Yeah.
That's a new color for us. I do have an example of that. So
I
if
hear
anybody
you.
wants to see that, let me know. I'll show them. But so we really did well. Like Darton did the best it's ever did, pretty much, recent years, recent history, with the sequels and the ST2s with the perfect tuning and timing. And that was a fun bow to show people. And but they went ahead and just changed everything. Um, and
said
it's
said if
built on that platform. So
yeah
go ahead.
But the riser was cut out. It's a little cleaner.
Yeah, riser's a lot cleaner,
yep,
and it made the riser itself a little lighter, but we did add some things. So we added the pick rail on the front. That was a lot of feedback for that.
yep.
We also added what I think is the first really micro tunable roller guard. So it's on a drive screw. It's got a lock nut, and it's got hash marks on it. You can precisely move it in and out
Yep.
to alleviate torque.
Well,
Left,
there are other people who have
movable,
movable,
not
but
micro run. Yeah.
but most of the time you either got to put it in a press,
Yep.
right? Just to relieve the pressure, because I mean the cables are holding everything at rest.
Yep.
The pressure that pulls off of it.
Right.
And so with that you just loosen and turn and lock it back down and go. So, which
Yep.
gives you some, tear tunability.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not a leap; it's a step. So like,
Yep,
you'll take a quarter out if you're just
a
real
little
close.
tear. Yeah,
Yeah, you know what I mean. You're real close. You got to get it. It'll help you catch that tear.
I got you.
Um,
And
the
you also can get closer veins or out of your way for veins and that kind of thing, depending on what vein you're shooting.
the rollers are actually different sizes,
Okay.
and what they figured out up there, and I don't know if somebody else might have figured it out, but they figured it out that you can keep the tension on the cables almost exactly if you adjust the size of these wheels and not have them the same. So that's the
Well,
reason they're different.
I will say that Darton has never been afraid of innovation.
No, I mean they try stuff, right? And
Um,
the reason that it was sold to an individual instead of a conglomerate was just for that reason. He he,
yep.
he wanted to keep it. Um, Rich wanted to keep it privately owned, family. He didn't want to have his patents wasted. He wanted things to be used. So, in
Yep.
his mind, an individual to own the company was the right way to go, and that's kind of how that happened. So,
I
we
got
tried
you.
to kind of keep that going. We still have the perfect timing system, but we've milled it down a little bit, made it a little cleaner. I mean, it's got to look cool. And we
Yep.
laser mark it now, so you can really know like eighth turn, quarter turn.
That's awesome.
I mean, if you get into it, like if you get that picky, and I have been that guy at one time or another. Yeah,
Yeah, we all have.
and
That
then
half that half twist was too much,
that's right.
and
Yeah,
so now
it
you
won't
can.
touch at the same time.
Yeah,
It drives you
it's like, dang it, now I flip the other way. I'm an eighth out, and now I put a quarter half twist in it, and
I'm
freaking now
two
it's the
hours
opposite.
in, and I need a
Yeah,
cup of coffee, and it just won't work.
yeah.
But and then the quarter-inch increments on the bow, I think is, man, I really like that because uh, one of my favorite archers said, "The more you know about archery, the longer your draw length will get."
100%.
And in my career, I started shooting like 29, and you've seen me. I'm a short
Yep.
guy with big old long arms, so I draw farther than I look like I should. But I started at 29, and I always felt like 29 felt the very best to me. And then all the information was everybody's shooting too long of a draw length, and I shot 28 for years, but I felt like I was cramped.
Just crumped up. Yep.
Yeah, so I was shooting 28 and a half at this point. And I was shooting in front of a coach, I know, and a
Yep.
really good guy, Griv. And he said, "Byron, are you confident in your draw length?" And I said, "I know it's probably long. I probably should shorten it back, back to 28." And he goes, "No, that's not the
No,
problem." He's like,
you
"I
gotta
think,"
go the other way.
and I'm like, "What?" And so just through osmosis, which is the way I can shoot a bow, because I've just been doing it for so long. 28 and three quarter is so perfect.
Yeah.
Be able to get that in your hunting bow is pretty fun.
And that's funny because about where I'm running most of my stuff now is 28 and three quarters.
You
And because
know,
I have a chance to do quarters without bumping specs. You know what I'm saying?
and you know how much work I put in a couple of years ago, really trying to figure some stuff out. And I just landed on like anywhere from 28 and three quarter to 28 and 7/8, and man, I can hold that bow.
Yep.
So That's a big deal to me. The quarter inch increments on the cam, and I mean, there's a lot of positions you can put it in, and there's different draw stops, and you can make it feel whatever you want it to feel.
Yeah. Well,
But it's
Wild Bill says that everyone your age shot 29 and 30-inch draw. Well, that was
oh,
because of, and you
dude,
could
when I
look,
got
you could order a bow at 29 inches and you can pull that sucker to 33 if you wanted to.
well, and when I got in the industry, they were forged risers, right? Like, say,
Oh, for
it
sure.
cost these companies a lot of money to make a new riser because they had to do all new molds and forging because they were
Oh, yeah.
pouring metal in the cast.
They were
So
molding. Yep.
yeah, and so bows just didn't change much. And man, you just ordered them at 30 inches.
Yeah.
And I was actually around when people who had purchased those bows were upgrading.
Yeah.
Every one of those cats said, "Oh, I shoot 30 inches. Oh, I shoot
Yeah. Of
30 inches," and we
course they
changed the
did.
world by shortening draw lengths for 10 years.
100%. I remember those days too. Very much so. David House said the first time he shot a dart and he loved it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, one of the questions I get because a lot of people shot a sequel at this point. I mean, even if they didn't buy one, they were
They've
just
at least cycled one. Yeah.
yeah, they put one through the ringer, and that's all we really ask. I mean, give me a fair shot. I'm gonna pick up enough archers that are gonna like this bow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, but I have been asked about the difference in the cycle between this and the sequel, and it's so slight you might not even notice it. But we had a full 83% let off on the sequel, but it had a fairly good valley in it. So it wasn't really abrupt. It didn't roll over hard, but once you got the let off, you moved a little bit.
Yeah.
So if you ever had the experience of letting a bow down that had that much let off, where you almost
Blub, blub.
push the string,
Snatch it. Yep.
and then
You
you
have
got
to hold
to
it. Yep. You got to
because
catch it.
yeah, and
You
it's
got to
just uncomfortable to
you
me.
got to you got to push it over the ledge, and then
Yeah,
as soon as you
and then
better
catch
grab
it
it when
so
it
you don't
goes.
dry fire your bow, right? And it
hundred
to
percent.
me that's uncomfortable, and it may not bother some people, but it just that's uncomfortable to me. They shallowed the valley on this just enough so that if you're holding back and you're hunting, and there's a
You can.
whitetail behind a tree,
I
it's
got you.
not going to try to take off on you. It's not on the front end, like it's not
Hmm.
ready to go at all. But if you want to let down, it takes the weight from you almost instantly.
I got you.
So it's way more comfortable to let down.
Yeah, I shot them. They shoot well. I didn't have a problem with them.
So
They go,
that's just like a little bitty difference. But
yeah, but it's a little bitty difference but it makes a major difference in the long run.
yeah,
So you like I said with the trifecta in the Tritech.
yeah,
You have a 31, a 33, and a 35.
correct. And
Do you think the 35 is going to win Lancaster this year?
look, if Jacob's shooting it, then anything can happen.
That's right.
You
There's
know.
no doubt about it.
Now, I
Yeah.
will say, in all honesty, man, I have as much time behind a sequel 35 as just about anything, and that bow really did actually point and aim so good. Like it was a pleasure to shoot. And so if this 35 aims like that, which I've been trying to run around showing the people, I hadn't been able to shoot them much. If it aims like that, man, that bow is going to be phenomenal with that shorter valley.
Yep.
Yeah, I think. You know
Okay.
me, I'm a bow nut, so
Well, I had a question over on. If you don't know, we
hey, there's a
broadcast this
fly in the
live
face.
on. Yep.
Oh, Jazz Leach.
Yep. But I had a question over on Instagram. So the Instagram question says, question is to make an arrow rest shoot center to I have to follow the arrow rest or follow the arrow. I don't I don't that's just a question. So I don't quite get what we're saying, but I don't know if you're saying you need to move the arrow rest left and right to get the arrow to run center down the shaft or down the center of the bow. A lot of bows today are designed at a certain starting number, um, but most bows you can just eyeball down the string and then go from there. So
So when I was
let's
at my previous archery company,
you know
engineers said that very thing. They said, look, you can give them a number, but these things are manufactured with tolerances. So
Yep.
it's not going to be that every time, all the time.
Oh, 100%. That's just starting point.
And so we never published a center shot measurement. And when I sold those and these as well, same thing. There's no measurement because we think you want to line it up, get that arrow as front of that string as you can, and then allow the tunability of the bow to make sure the string's dropping where you need it. But
One tunability. So the Tritech stands for,
yeah,
I'm assuming, three
yeah.
technical
So
things.
perfect tune, which is
Yep.
the limb
That's
pocket.
what the limb pocket adjustment.
Yeah,
So that's the part we haven't touched on. We talked about the roller guard,
right.
and then we talked
Yeah.
about
So,
the timing.
yep. So
So the
perfect
last,
timing.
yep,
Adjustable roller guards, the second technology. Well,
and the
it would be the third because we just
third
added.
thing. Oh yes,
And then this thing right here. So, anybody that's worked on a bow know that the limb deflections are different a lot of times because you're trying to eliminate torque in a bow. Like what we have in a
because it
bow is you have a vertical machine.
loads.
It's always got side torque induced on it. And
100%.
tuning a bow is trying to get that gone.
Yep.
Um, and so what we've done is when you get close and you got everything lined up, let's say for a right-handed shooter, it's normal to get a little bit of a right tear, a tail right.
Tail right. Yep.
Everything being equal and the bow's lined up, and we started from scratch, right?
Yep.
So you would put the bolts in the left side of the bow, shooter's perspective, opposite the tear, and you can induce a little bit of poundage to this limb up to about 2.5 pounds, I think. And you would do the same top and bottom, and what that do is it just changes that limb angle and it drops that string straighter.
I got you. So
So
you're essentially
and
changing your deflection on the
counteracting your
limb.
torque, getting the string to drop straight.
That's right.
That is the demon of tuning a bow is getting this string to drop perfectly straight.
Yeah.
People call it cam lean. People call it torque. People can call it whatever they want. What you're trying to do is get the knock to follow the point perfectly straight.
All the way through. Yep. So you don't have lateral or vertical knock travel.
Yeah, you want that arrow clean, and that's why symmetrical cams. Everybody's making symmetrical cams now
Yep.
because they're just the most efficient way to do it.
100%. And most everybody are loading out like you are with a quad track of some sort.
Yeah.
Today. So, I mean, and that's just how it works. But so all of those, whichever one you buy, 31, 33, and 35,
Correct.
all are priced at the same price though. So they're
13.49 is
13.50. Yep.
the minimum advertised price.
So 13.50.
Yeah.
So you got
So
a long.
we put a lot into this bow.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of time and machinery going into each one with what we got on it. So we
100%.
tried to try not to kill everybody, but
So you have a bow that will go 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, and 70, 80
correct.
on any one of the models?
Right, correct.
Sweet. And then you're offering, of course, that mossy oak color that you couldn't remember.
Bottom
And,
lands.
and you got your first light.
Yeah, we got two first light patterns. So the fusion, which is the kind of the original first light. If you think about the Western pattern, if you think about Meat Eater, that.
Yep.
And then we also have Spectre, which is more of a green. It would be more
Yeah, it's got
popular
a
east.
popular on this side. Yep. It's more of a green color. Yep.
So it's got a little bit more southern piney wood.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's not a nondescript. It's still a little bit of a Western pattern.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's the first time that Darton has had a brand named camo on a bow in a while, right? That's a super popular camo, I should say.
Yeah, so we had some. So I think King's camo was regionally popular.
Yeah, regional. Yeah.
And it looked really good.
Yeah.
And then we had one that resembled the old school Predator camouflage. It was like the ASAT stuff.
ASAT. Yep.
Dude, it looked really, really good. It just didn't sell.
Yeah.
the dealers didn't take any, and so if you can't get them on the shelf, you can't get them out. So
Can't if you, yeah, there's no reason to.
well, and I mean, and I know it's all subjective, but
Hmm.
it's like if you walk into a grocery store, you're going to buy Coke or you're going to buy no name cola. I mean, there's
Yep,
both people, but normally I'm going to grab a Coca Cola. But
that's right.
um, and
How is so? I'm just going to ask because I don't
yeah,
know. How are your colors coded? I mean, your solid colors are Cerakote, or
no,
are
our
they
solid colors are powder coated.
powder
So
coat?
yeah, and
That's
then all of our camo finishes are dye sub. So
dye
we're one of
sub.
the few
Okay,
companies that are still doing dye sublimation on the
that's
on.
what I was asking. You know, because a lot of folks have gone to Cerakote,
Yeah,
and Cerakote's not cheap. There's no
well,
doubt.
and
You know.
it's pretty.
Yeah,
Um, but like even our candy colors on our tournament color bows are powder coated.
powder coat. Yeah,
Yeah. So what we've done is we've tried to keep production. You know, we're a pretty fastly growing company, and
yeah.
you know we've added an astronomical amount of machinery to that factory in the
Well,
last 2 years, and they're talking about adding more. So they're frantically always trying to keep up with what is a pretty growing demand, and so
I was going to say is like in past times with Darton, and not that they made never made a bad product, right?
right.
Um, but the the patents were carrying the company, right? Essentially, they put product out with what they thought were new innovations, right? And then other companies licensed it.
Yeah.
So they may have made 600 bows, 800 bows a year. I don't know. I don't have a comment on that, but I know they didn't have a big market share.
No.
Now, I know that when it was traded, sold to Randy, he, tried to move it forward to move, and your factory has to get bigger or get more, busy because you've sold a lot more bows than 600 or 700 bows.
Well, Darton went through kind of the natural tendency of businesses sometimes, but Darton went through several growth and shrink phases. You know,
Yeah.
they in the early '90s they were selling as many bows as anybody.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You know, but the manufacturing process in the early '90s was way different than it is today. So
Mhm.
they were competing with those businesses, right?
We're
And
talking a
all
long
of a
time
sudden,
ago here.
PSC is starting to machine risers out of aluminum, right? And Bear start machining aluminum, and all of a sudden that don't work. The old molded risers don't
The
work anymore.
molded riser, yeah, cast risers is out.
So,
I mean, for the most part.
so
Yep.
that business, you know, it was affected by those changes, but he was always an engineer,
Oh, for sure.
and so you know
Smart,
when
smart man.
yeah, I mean a lot of people don't know this, but during the '80s, I was a skateboarder till I was about 48 years old, right?
Yeah,
You know me, you know that. But
I do. Yeah.
they were actually he had a wood shop and they were producing trailer truckloads a month of Powell Peralta skateboards for Stacy Peralta.
I
If
owned
I'm
one or
speaking the
two.
language and you understand it, I don't need to explain myself. If you don't know what
I
I'm
owned.
talking about, don't
I,
worry
I,
about it. It's not important.
yep. I owned one or two in my day.
So, you know, that's just kind of a cool thing. But that was what they were. That's, you know, he was an engineer. He was building things, and so
Yep.
that was what was profitable for him to build at that point. So
Well,
his wood
of
shop was
course.
massive at that point. Maybe if archery wasn't,
Yep.
but regardless, you know, he kept inventing things, and then um, he kind of got comfortable with what he was doing, and it was pretty easy to sell his license these things, and because you had the best designs out there.
I really I hate to say that, but I mean I'm not that I hate to say it, but I don't know if there's a bow out there on the market today that doesn't have something that came from him originally somewhere.
There's very few, and you know, to make a blanket statement that all of them do, you
Yeah.
know, that'd be kind of,
Yeah, yeah, I understand that,
you
but I
know,
mean there's a
but I mean, you know,
lot of
like rotating modules
yeah,
came from Darton,
100%.
locking limb pockets came from Darton. Uh, you know, there's so many things that you know. that
that are on
put out,
90,
man. That
90% of the boats out there.
no one ever knew it because they were launched by these other archery companies. And look, man, kudos for them recognizing a good design and using it, and putting it out in the
Oh,
public.
for sure. Yeah.
We all get better, right, when that happens. So.
Yep. For sure. That's no doubt about it. So, I mean, your product looks great. Shoots good. Go to your local Darton dealer and pick one up and shoot it. There's several Darton dealers across the state of Georgia.
Yep, we're
Um,
doing a good job
uh,
in Georgia. We got a few down in Florida. And
yep.
South Carolina's
But
probably a good spot to get one.
yeah. So I mean, you do like I said, we have several different places. I mean, don't get me wrong, my employer is, we are a Dart dealer
Yeah,
also.
absolutely.
Um, so um, so yeah, you can come out and shoot it. And I got to shoot them. You brought them the other day when I saw you limping around, and got to shoot them all. And I really liked them. I thought they were shot very well. I think they're, I think it's the right. I think that it's the prettiest darting that I've seen in a long time.
I mean, it's obviously worked hard on it.
I mean, because no offense, I mean Darton was the tool that did the job,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it just
for
it,
sure.
it didn't have the prettiness to it.
Yeah.
Like and my personal opinion was they looked like their CNC machine cut off just a little bit early before you got that fine
They
edge.
all look like
You know,
prototypes.
yeah. I mean, and I'm not knocking the product. It wasn't had nothing to do with the product. It has to do with pretty, and sometimes pretty sells, and
Yeah, well, I mean,
functionality.
it was all about function then,
Yeah,
right?
for
Like,
sure.
and those designs just sort of stuck with the company for a while because they were selling the patents and they were having positive cash flow, and he was still inventing things, and loyal Darton customers would come back and buy Darton boats, and they could keep up with the demand. I mean, sounded like a pretty good business model for a while,
For sure. I mean,
but
it didn't.
it did
He
make
did.
one part of it stagnant. It
Yeah.
just wasn't the most important part at that point, right?
Yep.
Uh, so when Randy picked it up, like all of a sudden we just wanted to face it. Like we understood the importance of aesthetics. Like some's got to
Yeah.
look.
Oh yeah, and it definitely has progressed. And something I'll go back to a comment that Eric said is your colors are some of the best popping colors out
Yeah,
there.
and
Period.
that's what I was going to say about the whole powder coating process. I don't know anything about it. I'm not a powder coater.
You're not a power
But
coder, huh?
what I've been told is that
Yep.
we've got the process down really well.
Well, see, that was what you were saying
Yeah.
before. Like we were
So
talking
our
about how
solid
the
colors, even our shiny colors, we can produce them faster with one process,
yeah.
even though it's
Once
different.
you yeah. So let's see. Eric Teague said, some of the best candy colors out. But like you were saying, like other places, other companies have gone away from the sub lamb.
Yeah.
They're doing something else. But or they're dipping and whatever. But the or Cerakote like we talked about. But once you have a process down, right, and you do it right, why change, right? So
Well, the only reason you would change, and the reason most companies changed, because there's several companies that were exclusively doing dye sub. Now they're film dipped, and I mean,
yep,
it's just a business decision.
100%.
Because the dye supplementation, as far as cost, is equal to except about 30 minutes a bow.
Yeah,
And when you start producing a certain amount of bows, that 30 minutes a bow becomes very expensive for a company. So
for
so
sure.
I can understand why a company would make a more efficient decision. But if it comes down to it, the camos just look better when they're dye subbed, man.
Yeah.
They just look better. They
Well,
just
they did
wear. They
the
don't wear off.
the I was going to say the wear and tear, the stretch in the camo. You remember those days where when you dip and then you'd have a stretch of the camo in
Well,
certain
and then
places and
you
that
see
kind of
all
thing.
these cutouts.
Yeah.
So when you start getting all inside of these cutouts, a film dip
Hmm.
bow will have voids in the camo. It'll just be
For sure.
sort of stretched and weird looking. And I mean, deer can't see it.
Oh, dear, yeah, but we got to look good doing it, right?
Well, I mean, the bows are a little expensive, and I do think a flagship bow is what I would call a luxury purchase for most people. And so it is important to have a luxury experience when you pick up a bow. That's why the
Yeah,
grip's got to feel good. That doesn't, but make it shoot any better? Probably not. I can shoot a grip like I can shoot a grip, and Jacob Sluzar can shoot a grip like he can shoot a grip.
yep,
But if it feels nice, then it's better.
and it does feel nice. I'm
Yeah,
not
man,
gonna lie.
good grip.
Yep,
So I think a dice book gives it that
yeah,
Cadillac feel for that Cadillac price, and that's important, man.
yeah. Well, I think y'all have done a good job, and the talk is out. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's people
I've
who
been
are
busy. I mean, like I
who,
said, I've been burning the phones up, man. You probably recognize that when you called me earlier today. I was like, hey, what's up?
yeah. So, yeah. So, let's just go over that. What states do you cover?
Oh, so presently, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Tennessee, South Carolina, and North Carolina. So I got a big chunk of dirt. Yeah.
You have got a lot of dirt.
Yeah. It's I have had more than that, but
I
that was
remember.
rough.
Yeah,
But I mean, we had to start somewhere, man. It was like everybody had to pull a little bit more than their weight
yeah.
to begin with. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And because I mean, we kind of felt like we knew where we were going, but man, until until you kind of reap it,
Oh, for
we're an
sure.
overnight, success, and we've been churning it for 5 years.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so, thanks for all the pulling them off the wall, showing everybody, talking about the
Heck
bows and
yeah,
that
man.
kind of thing. But we know you said you were limping,
Yeah.
right? You hadn't gotten the woods
No.
locally. What you been up to?
Well,
I know.
I'm probably paying for my sins, so to speak. I did draw a pretty good elk tag this year, and I went out the first couple weeks in September and chased elk for 2 weeks. And if you know me, I'll tell you all about what I'm doing. And I get altitude sickness pretty bad,
Yeah.
and I got sick. But I mean, I didn't give up. I kept charging. I did everything that you would dream of on an elk hunt, except stick a arrow in one.
Yeah. Except fill the tag.
Yeah, man. I saw some friends of mine from that I met while I was at another company in the industry, and just became real close with them. And they live out in Utah, so I don't get to see them. But when I go hunting, I get to see them. So I hadn't
Yeah.
seen them in 4 years. I got to hunt with them and
That's
kept up
awesome.
with a guy I call a Billy Goat.
That's awesome.
He kept
And
checking
you
on me. Said, "You all right?" And I was like, "Look, if I don't pass out or die, just keep going."
keep going. And if not, pick me up on the way back out.
Man, we
I
saw a
understand.
lot of elk, and we heard a lot of elk, and we were in a rut frenzy, but we had this big storm front coming through, and every move we made, the wind was wrong, and
Yeah,
you can't just charge in there, or you blow them out, and you're not hunting elk anymore. So you gotta watch what you do, and we never had the right approach, and it was fun. It just we got real close to a lot of elk. It was a lot of fun.
that's awesome. David Howell says, "Is any of the hunting bows a shoot through riser?"
No, sir. We've got a tournament bow that is an Exodus that's shoot through riser 37 inches. We make it in solid color, so technically you can hunt with it. But it's a pretty. I mean, it throws the bow at the target. It's a legit target bow. So
Yeah.
I don't know how comfortable it'd be for hunting, but I don't think there's any plan for the shoot through hunting bow.
And Bill says there's that altitude sickness ain't no joke.
Dude, everybody's like always checking on me. They're like, "You okay, man?" I'm like, "Look, this is just how I feel when I'm out here. I'm not going to be better than this. I'm tip top." The only time I didn't feel sick is when I was hunting elk.
Yeah, because the thrill of hunting elk
Yeah,
was
because
over.
then
Yeah,
I'm getting sick, not being sick.
yeah.
But boy, migraines in the morning and just
Oh yeah,
hair's dry
just
and all the stuff coming out. Oh, it's gross.
I understand. Well,
I love those mountains. I cannot lie. I absolutely adore running up and trying to, and they don't like me at all.
but you still gonna try to get them.
I love it.
There was one time you took some pills or whatever, and that just made it even worse. Really, I
Oh,
mean,
that was awful.
yeah.
So I went to the doctor and explained to him, like, look, I just get sick, and he prescribed a medication, and he said this should help. That was the description of the medication. Well, I started doing research, and basically what it does is it takes all the acid out of your body. It makes you completely alkaline,
Well,
so your blood will carry more oxygen. Good. But you don't know how much you rely on acid in your mouth to taste the things.
pennies.
Oh, dude, I couldn't eat. Everything I ate was tasted weird. I was running out of gas because I wouldn't eat. My buddy was like, "Dude, you got to eat something. You're gonna die up on this mountain." So that didn't work out real good.
Yeah,
Beer tasted like seltzer water.
yeah. That ain't no good either.
Coke tasted like it was spoiled. Like if you drank a Coca-Cola, it would taste like
Right.
spoiled milk to me.
Oh,
Really weird. It was odd.
that ain't no good. That's
Yeah.
definitely no good. So I understand why you're not taking that prescription to not feel bad. It's better to feel bad than to not,
And I tell you, man, it used to be. I get just as sick now, but I tell you, if you've never had altitude sickness and then you get altitude sick, it'll scare you to death.
Yeah.
Like you don't know. You're like, I'm dying. I'm dying. That's what I said the first time I went out to Colorado. I was hunting with my buddy. I said, dude, I'm dying. Like something's going on. I cannot operate like this. And it was altitude sickness. But now that
Yeah.
I can expect it, it's not as
You
dramatic.
know, you know what's coming. So
Yeah, it's like, oh, well, there's that. You know what I
yeah,
mean? The only thing that was different this time is I went completely deaf in my right ear the last 4 days.
yeah, fluid buildup.
But yeah, it started out and just woke up one morning, it was roaring like what would, my wife describes as tinnitus.
Yeah.
Couldn't hear nothing. Just had to listen to it like this.
One eared.
But
I
I
hear you.
spent the most time at altitude. Normally I'm deer hunting out there. I get a buck
Run
down
up,
a
run
couple
down.
of days and get back home. But this time I was up in the mountains for 2 weeks, so it just got worse and worse and worse.
That's sweet. Well, Darren, that's a pretty cool story. And I guess if you live long enough, as we've already talked about this, it happened to be a pretty good spot, to draw. So,
Man, so it's I hit the lottery, literally.
yeah,
So this is what they call a big bull elk unit. So all the bull tags are limited entry.
yep,
Different than a general tag, where you can just walk up to the counter and buy. So you got to be drawn for the unit. And that normally coincides with quality, right? There's
yep.
bigger, older elk, but and this place certainly has big elk in it. But I am no trophy hunter when it comes to elk hunting. I'll kill a spike. I don't care. I'm out for elk meat. I'm an elk hunter. I don't get
Yep.
to do it but a couple of times in my life. Anyways, but when I started deer hunting here, which is an easy to draw tag, I just kind of fell in love with the mountains. And every time we'd be deer hunting, I would just see all these elk. And so I just started putting in for elk points. And the tag creep got me. So when I first started putting in 10 years ago or so, you could reasonably draw a tag with 6 or 7 points.
Yep.
By the time I got to like 5 points, that had swelled to like 10 or 11.
Yeah.
And so this year I had 7 points and I put it in with no expectation of drawing a tag because I checked last year's odds and the first time you could expect to draw a tag was 14 points. I only had 7. So
Yeah.
I didn't expect to draw this tag at all. But the state of Utah does something kind of weird. This unit only gets 8 out of state tags. The first 4 they draw for the most points. Whoever's just earns them, right?
Yep.
The other 4 they just randomly draw from everybody else, like a
So you
lot.
just you just won the lottery.
I just won the lottery. I
I hear you.
won a lottery bull tag in that unit, and I was so excited, man. I want to kill an elk so bad, and I saw a lot of elk. There was one particular elk that I hunted probably half a dozen times I was within 50 yards of him 3 different times, and just couldn't get an arrow in it. Just he was
Yeah.
protected. He was like he was no. And But
clear
I mean,
shot.
everything about it was fun. Smelling
Oh yeah,
elk and having elk bugle in your face and seeing
oh
elk
yeah. Make make the hair on the back of your neck stand up every time that sucker bugles.
and just being exhausted. Going down the mountain and just being just that's the hardest you ever worked for anything. And there's no reason you would be there unless you was trying to shoot something.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
for
So
sure.
I just fall in love with it. It's just so much fun. I'm no elk hunter. I mean, I've went out there and had a lot of help hunting elk.
Yeah,
Guys that are way better at it than I am, and I'm grateful to have had the shot. I know there's people go out and kill elk every year. I'm not that guy. I've never killed an elk. So all this is really cool to me. So
yeah.
that's just a lot of fun. And chasing those deer is fun, man. They're a little less skittish
It's
than a
a,
whitetail.
it's
They're a lot of fun to spot and stalk.
it's a little different out there for sure for deer.
And the land tries to
So,
kill you.
yeah. So we're gonna go through and who is shooting this weekend? Well, this weekend, um, it's funny because we don't have any Georgia shoots going on, but the Indoor Archery World Series kicks off in Swiss at the Swiss Open. So you get to
Yeah, I
watch.
know somebody that was packing to go to that today.
Yep, you got some big boys going out to play on that at the Swiss Open, and on Saturday at over in Prattville, that's Archery Unlimited. Um, is having the indoor the Chattahoochee TSO, which Ace hosted the first one, and this would be the second one, and it's happening this weekend. Also on Friday, before all of the weekend happens, it's Halloween, right? So the ghost and goblins will be running around the streets trying to get some candy on Friday night. So be aware of that. And then a Sunday. We have gotten to fall back. Daylight savings times ends on Sunday. So that's pretty cool. This is the changeover. There's something called the October lull. You've heard it hunting.
Hmm.
People talk about it all the time. Um, but with this weather weird, it's been, we had a bumper crop year of acorns
Yeah, there's acorns dropping everywhere.
everywhere. So the deer ain't got to go far to eat
No,
good. You know, I mean, deer browse, they go everywhere, but they don't have to go nowhere to get, they don't have to go to your corn pile because they got plenty of good stuff falling out of the trees this year.
most
Yeah.
people describe that October lull uh, as they're not hunting them close enough to their bed. So, I mean, big bucks, they're not running. They're just not going to move very far from their bedding areas. They get
No.
up to feed just like every other deer, but like they're going to let every deer in the woods go to an ag field before they even,
Oh yeah.
you know what I mean? That's their eyes and ears. So, and like me, I don't have many places I can hunt bedding areas, so
Yeah.
I'm always dependent on rut travel.
Yeah. And see, that was the thing is like with the bumper crop of acorns, that walk got shorter for a lot of them, you
Yeah,
know,
they can
because
falling on their head in their bed.
they just said, I'll just get over here and eat right here.
Yeah, they ain't got to
So
go far. And then
that's right.
the leaves are turning kind of late, so
Uh-huh. But
they have
yeah,
a lot.
so
I still got tons of autumn olive behind my house. They ain't worried about nothing to browse on.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, that's
and it's
fact.
just hardwood is turning brown, but that autumn olive is green, and they're munching down on it. I'm sure it don't taste good, but they're eating it.
They eat it, It might taste good to them, Some things they like that we don't like. But yeah, so a lot of folks talking about they ain't coming to corn, they ain't doing no whatever. I was like, it's just that time of year. But I will say, in the past, however long, just in this area, that Halloween week has been a good week because that's when they sort of get up, and start checking. The smaller ones have been checking for a day or three. And if you notice, we're not in the metropolitan area, big
Yeah.
area, so we can ride down these back roads and there'll be deer dead on the side of the road, and that's a telltale sign that something's going on.
I just started seeing a lot of does dead the last few
That's what
days.
I'm saying. Yeah, just the last few
Yeah,
days
the
has
rain's
been.
got them moving a little bit early, but
Yeah,
I got a wall full of deer that are killed right here in northeast Georgia.
yep,
And I go back through my phone and I scan pictures, and just about from Halloween to, you know, actually the whole month of November, I've killed
yeah,
deer doing ruddy things, big deer back there,
yep,
doing ruddy things all the entire month of November.
for sure. But it
I
starts
think
right
it's
about
because
Halloween
when
week.
the does coming in heat. If you got a hot doe, man, you're gonna have bucks running around.
For sure. They're gonna come, and then and it ain't just the little ones. The little ones will get antsy early, you know. The
Yeah.
does ain't in, but they up running around, you know.
I didn't kill the three biggest deer I've ever seen back there, but all three of the biggest deer I've ever seen where I hunt, I saw them early December, like from the 1st to the 10th.
Uh-huh.
Full on rut chasing does back
That's
there.
that's
Like,
that secondary rut or
oh
whatever they
yeah, it's
call it.
like
Yeah.
they're just the last few does are coming in heat, and the big ones are
And
after them. And
yep.
I've seen some monsters. I can't get them to stop for a shot though. But I've seen three biggest deer I've ever seen back there, and I've killed some big ones back there.
Uh-huh.
We're chasing in early December, so
That's awesome. Well, Byron, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on.
heck yeah, man.
Showing all the
Thanks for letting me
bows
show my
and
wares.
talking everything, and
Got a lot of dealers in Georgia, man.
yeah.
So get out and shoot one.
So get out, go see the closest dealer to you. Look it up on there. I mean, y'all got a dealer locator, right?
Yeah, yeah, I got a
And
dealer.
so
We're
you
adding a
go.
lot to them. There's going to be
Yep,
some, Bill's on here. He'll have some down at Wildcat. He's got a
that's
few
right.
more.
And then we'll have ours in, and
Here in South
so
Georgia, Life Outdoors has got them.
Life Outdoors.
Top tier
Jared.
over Carrollton's got them.
Yeah, see, there's a lot of dang places.
Carl
Go out there and see.
Higginbottom, me and him go back about 30 years.
Oh, Carl.
I shot tournaments when he was twice the man he is now.
Yeah, he was a little bit bigger than he is right now. No doubt about that. But I've been up and down in size over the years too. So
You've been on a gradual down for a while, though.
yeah. So, but we do
Sometimes
appreciate it,
life,
huh?
sometimes life just gets you.
No doubt about it. We do appreciate it very much.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me
A-
on.
as
I enjoy running
always,
my mouth.
yeah. Um, as always, take someone, teach them how to shoot a bow. It will last them a lifetime. Until next time, I'm Big John. That's Byron, and we'll see ya.